Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another reading vlog.
Stop looking at me. What?
I'm just here chilling with my bowl of fruit. Love it. Kind of batshit crazy. Oh, sounds like a fart. The last chapter, I was like, what? This week's video is a bit different. Well, actually, it's a bit random because I just came up with this idea literally the night before I had to film it, and that was because of TikTok. I saw this video of friends using this app to like choose what to do or where they were going, and it was the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's this app. It's called the Schwazi app. I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically you get two or more people, you put your fingers on the screen, and whichever it picks, that's what you're gonna do, or who wins technically. And I was like, maybe I can use that for a reading vlog, and that's why we're here. Before we get into the reading vlog, I'd like to thank Everand for reaching out and sponsoring this week's video. If you don't know what Everand is, they are a subscription-based service that gets you access to millions of ebooks, audiobooks, podcasts all in one place. Each month you can unlock 3 premium titles for the low price of $12.99 Canadian dollars. That's like the best deal I've seen. Everyone gets a free 30-day trial to see if it's for you, to try it out, to see if you like it. With your free trials, you can unlock titles from their premium catalog that contains more than 1.5 million titles. You also get unlimited access to their select catalog that has more than 20,000 ebooks, audiobooks, podcasts, and all that. I've been trying Everand for the past month, and you'll see in the video that I also use Everand mostly for audiobooks just because it helped me get my reading done while also being productive because I started a new job, so I didn't have as much reading time as I did before. If you want to give Everand a try, make sure you use my link on the screen. I'll also have it linked down below so it's easier to access, and without further ado, let's get into the reading vlog. Hello guys, welcome to the first day of this challenge. It is Monday, almost 4:30 in the afternoon, and you might be wondering, why am I starting this so late in the day? Well, I just got off my shift. I am doing orientation for my new nursing job. I know, that's such like a big girl job, and realizing that people's lives are on my hands, that's a big thing. That's a lot to think about, but I'm not here to rant about my job or, you know, stuff like that. We're here to read, and this is like my comfort space where I can just relax and do the thing I love most, which is read books. So let's just get into it. Let's pick our first book. I think for this I'm gonna choose like a genre and then pick 2 books from that genre and have the finger chooser app choose. This is my TBR cart. If you're new to my channel, this is probably the first time you're seeing this because this is probably the first video you're seeing from me, but if you've been here before, you've seen this. I kind of organized this by genre. Like up here I mainly have fantasy, in the middle I have romance, and then down here I have mostly literary fiction. I don't know what I feel like reading. Like, I don't know what genre. I definitely want to read either a romance or literary fiction. I'm not in the headspace to read a fantasy right now. Okay guys, I don't know why that took so long. I was staring at my cart for like 15 minutes straight. I think I'm just tired, but I finally picked 2 books to choose from. The first book is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I know this went viral like a year or 2 ago, and I'm just late to the game, so I decided why not. It looks interesting. This book is about 2 authors. One dies and one steals her manuscript, so that sounds interesting. The next book is The Woman by Christine Hanna, and I chose this one because this one is about a nursing student. It just feels right to choose this one because I was once a nursing student. Okay, let's get the app out and see which of these 2 I'm reading first. Okay, let's see. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that was like so anticlimactic. That was so anticlimactic. I thought it'd be more interesting. I'm so sorry if this reading vlog is already so boring, but the app has chosen our first book in this reading vlog, which is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I don't know a lot about this book. All I know is that there's 2 authors. One dies, one steals their manuscript, and yeah, that's all I know. Hello guys, it's the next day as you saw from the previous clips. It's now like 5:30 p.m. I just got off work and I just wanted to give you an update on Yellowface, the book, because now I feel like I have a better understanding and grasp of what this book is really about. This book is about two authors named June and Athena. They went to school together, they settled in the same place together, and they started kind of writing their first novels at the same time. Athena is this like prodigy, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but prodigy child or girl, because her debut model sets her entire career up because it goes so well. Like, she gets picked up by a big publishing company and she ends up on like the bestsellers list, and from then on her career just skyrockets. But on the other hand, June is not so quite like her. Her debut model didn't go as well as Athena's and it eventually fell off the face of the earth. No one knows who she is and she essentially lost motivation to write, and she doesn't know why Athena keeps her in her corner, but I think it's because of their history and it's just like been easy between them. One night they're celebrating Athena's signing with Netflix to do like a show about her, a documentary. I don't know, wasn't really paying attention to that, but that's the night she witnesses her freak accident. I thought it'd be like a tragic accident or like, you know, something dramatic of how she dies, but no, it's literally, I don't want to say it's silly, but it just sounded so silly. If you've read The Love of My Afterlife, it's similar to that, and I was like laughing. Anyways, she sees this opportunity to take Athena's finished manuscript for her next novel, edit it, and publish it as her own, and it goes well. It goes well. It boosts her career. She goes under a new name, Juniper Song, and it sounds so good. I kind of like that. She gets all this attention. It's basically a rebranding of herself, and she uses her being friends with Athena, because everyone knows Athena, to like, you know, promote her book. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe you are grieving, but from her point of view, it doesn't look like she's grieving. I don't know. From the first chapter, I didn't like her. Maybe that's just me, but I really don't like her right now. She is so mean and evil. Like, she will go great lengths to cover her butt. Like, there's some things that have come up and she's done whatever she can to cover her butt and not rat her out, because I don't know, I just don't like how she dealt with that, especially with Athena's mom. Like, she's basically guilt tripping her. I don't know, I don't like it. She is really squeezing that relationship she has with Athena, but I feel like from the reviews I've read and have watched, they said it was like a good ending. So I don't know, will I end up liking her later? Hello guys, it's a couple hours later. I've been reading the book physically for the last little bit and it's just been so nice and peaceful. I love it. I got to chapter 15, page 192, and I forgot to tell you guys like a very important detail in this book, and that is that the manuscript that Junie stole from Athena is about the Chinese laborers in World War I, and there's one big problem in that, and that is Junie is not Chinese at all and is not Asian at all either, and she gets a lot of backlash. At first it was a little bit, but then later on there's this Twitter account that starts trolling her and says that they know that she stole this from Athena, and it just blows up. Every day she's getting death threats and it's just a whole mess. There's so many times where she compares herself to Athena and is essentially talking bad about her in her mind to make her feel better about all the choices that she's made that are like not great. And there's just like one time when she's like, oh my god, Athena never suffered, and that's all she writes about. She goes to her vacation home in Nantucket, writing on her vintage, ancient typewriter that probably cost thousands of dollars, and sipping on expensive wine. Like, oh my god, how dare she? And it just shows a lot about her character and her personality, and it's just, girl, you're not great either. She's just very, very unlikable, but then there's times where I'm like, oh my god, that's so smart. Like, you're actually thinking this through. You have a plan, but I still don't support what you did. I mean, Athena wasn't the best person either, but you know, it's not the right thing to do. Hello guys, it's the next day. I just got off my shift, but I did end up finishing Yellowface like a couple minutes ago, and the ending like just boggled my mind. I'm like, how can it end like this? It was so good in the beginning and the middle because it was like a literary fiction mixed with like a little bit of mystery and thriller. It was going by so fast, it's fast paced, and I'm like, I gotta know what happened. But then I got to the end and I'm like, this is how it ends. But some of the negative reviews that I saw on Goodreads, I don't really know what they were talking about. Like, I just saw that R.F. Kuang used this book to kind of defend herself against the criticism about a problem that she was a part of. I wasn't sure. I don't know what all that is about. I don't really keep up with authors' lives, but I did enjoy this book. I like how it kind of gave us a POV of authors' lives, like what goes into like their first draft writing, the creative outlets that they use, and afterwards like publishing. I feel like that was a good aspect of this book. But then there's like things that would happen, like crazy things, and I'm like, does this really happen? Like, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. I just didn't like the ending. Yeah, so those are my thoughts, and now it's time to pick our next read. I decided that I need like a light, fluffy romance, so I'm gonna go choose 2 romance books, and then we can pick using the Chooser app. It took me 10 minutes to pick out 2 books that I wanted to read. I don't know, whenever I pick a new book, I just kind of get overwhelmed. I don't know if that's just me, but I picked 2 books that I've been avoiding. I don't know why, but they're part of a series. And now when I was looking at my TBR cart, I was like, kind of feel like picking out one of these. And the first one is Terms and Conditions, the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and Twisted Hate, the third book in the Twisted series. And these 2 books I've had forever. Hey guys, it's like 2 or 3 hours since I picked up the camera and recorded something, but I got this far into the book. Chapter 17, page 168, and I'm loving this so much. Like, this series I thought I wouldn't like because I've been avoiding it. I don't know why, because I think I started the first book and then DNF'd it last year, and then I read it recently and it wasn't as bad as I thought, and this one's even better. I'm loving this so much. So this book follows Declan and Iris. Declan, I think, is the older brother, and there's a little bit of an age gap. Declan is 12 years older than Iris, and they're boss and assistant. So Declan is the boss and Iris is his assistant, and this is basically a grumpy sunshine, marriage of convenience, billionaire romance, forced proximity, and I'm loving it. Did I already said marriage of convenience? Because this is the first time I read about that, and I love it. I absolutely am eating this book up. In this whole series, these 3 brothers inherit something from their grandfather who passed away, and in their will there's conditions that they have to meet in order to get what is in the will, and his condition is to get married and have a child, because I think out of all 3 of them, he's like the most antisocial person ever, and he just works. He doesn't do anything else, and he hates like people essentially. And Iris is just this sunshiny assistant, and I love her, and now they're married. I got past the whole marriage thing, and now they're in their honeymoon in South Africa, and Declan is just being a killjoy right now. They're supposed to be on this 10-day honeymoon so people won't suspect, and he just wants to do work, and Iris is upset because she planned this whole thing for them to go see animals and all that, and it's just all getting canceled, and they're just in their bungalow doing work. Like, why would you be doing work when there's this like paradise around you? What I also love about this book is the little decals, or whatever you call them, inside the book, the drawings. It's so pretty. This one is Iris's, and it's just so I can't get over it. I could not put this book down last night. Hello guys, as you saw from the previous clips, I finished the second book in this video, which is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, and I didn't get any of my reaction for this book. It did take me a few days to finish it because I was working, but this book was so good. I loved it. I loved it so much. Oh my god. The banter between Iris and Declan was just unmatched. I loved it. They had to come up with a few fake dates that they had to do in public so that the media and everyone would think that it's real, that their relationship is real. But then I love the part where the fakeness bleeds into like real life, so like you don't know if it's real or not, and you can tell that both of them are slowly falling in love, and I loved it. Declan is such a acts of service type of guy. That's why I feel like I loved him. He's grumpy. He's learning to be with someone. Never really been in a relationship, like a serious relationship, and it's tough for him to express those feelings. And they have this thing where, well, he has this thing where he says foreign words to describe how he feels, and he only says one word just because he has problems with expressing himself, and he did that with his mom, which is so cute. And the other thing in here is that Iris has dyslexia, and he's known about it the entire time, and he does his best to like accommodate for that even before they started fake dating or like being in a fake marriage. For example, he forced everyone that he worked for to use Times New Roman font instead of Arial because it's easier for people with dyslexia to read it, and that's just so sweet. And he does a bunch of other things that she didn't know about. I just loved it. This book was so sweet. I think I'm gonna give it a 5 stars because I enjoyed it. There was a lot of swoon worthy scenes in here, and I honestly just loved the both of them. The chemistry was so good. Even though there's like a lack of plot, I still loved it. I think this is by far my favorite out of the series, which is like, I only read the first book. The first book I liked it, I didn't love it, but this one I loved it, even though there was a lack of plot, and he just goes above and beyond for her, and I love that when a guy does that. And I also love billionaire romances because the girl tends to get spoiled and gets whatever she wants. Like, she literally is flying his private plane everywhere, and I'm like, yeah, same. And she loves plants, so like the greenhouse in the front and the plants in the back makes sense, and I love it. And then the third book in this video is Leather and Lark by Breen Weaver. This is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I wanted to do a fantasy, but then I saw this book and I'm like, I kind of feel like picking that up, but then I also kind of felt like picking up a fantasy. So I put this beside Light Lark and let the app choose and got this. I'm not upset, I'm not mad, because this is very comparable to one of my favorite series called the Mindfuck series, that is also like a serial killer series, and this one leans more in the dark comedic romance, which I love. The last book, Butcher and Blackbird, made me laugh out loud and swoon with all the romance scenes. Anyways, if you don't know what this book is about, it's about 2 serial killers who fall in love with each other. This one follows Lachlan, who is Rowan's brother, and Lark, who is Sloane's best friend. Sloane and Rowan were the 2 couples that we were following in the first book, page 61, and there's been a lot of crossover between the first book and the second book. The other thing I love about this series is that the author lists a bunch of like content and trigger warnings at the very beginning of the book. It's just funny. Like, I mean, it's helpful to see if this book is for you, but she lists them in the most funniest way. And she has this tendency to like mess with food. In the last book, she ruined cookies and cream ice cream for me. I still can't eat that, but in this book she says, I might have ruined pizza and beer, also smoothies. Still not sorry. I got to that part and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as the ice cream. Hey guys, I'm not that far into the book just yet, but I found out two details that is interesting. First of all, Lachlan's last name is Kane, which is Declan's last name as well, and he has a brother Rowan, which is the same as Declan. And in this book, I just found out that they need to get married, or like a fake marriage of convenience. This literally the same exact thing that happened in terms of conditions. I didn't know that this book was like that, even though it says in the back. I never read the back. Usually I go into a book blind, but that's just so interesting to see. I'm basically reading the same story, but instead of billionaires, we have serial killers. I guess we can say Lark's family is rich. I don't know if they're billionaires, but they have a lot of money compared to Lachlan, and they're moving in together because this marriage saves Lachlan and other people connected to him, including Rowan and Sloane. That's interesting. I'm just here chilling with my bowl of fruit. My mom actually cut these up, but it's just strawberries now. I love green grapes. It's so crunchy too. Oh, that one's not crunchy. Do you hear that?
Stop looking at me. What?
Why are you literally laughing at me? Anyways, I'm gonna read. I do also have an audio through the Everend app, and what I've noticed with this app is that it is technically like unlimited, but if you listen to too much of like the same type of books or the same author, it kind of locks you out and sets a limit until the next billing date, but you're still able to listen to other audiobooks, and this was one of them, Leather and Lark. And I was like, I'm surprised. Usually on Audible you have to buy it because you get 1 credit per month, but for this one, for $9.99, I got 3 books plus other books that aren't locked, including this one and a bunch of other books. So I don't know, I kind of like it. It's cheaper. Lark is kind of crazy. Like, she's kind of batshit crazy. I mean, she kills people for a purpose. Same with Sloane, because they're bad people. But she is described as this, like, sunshiny cheerleader type of girl. But she has a temper. Like, literally, if someone wrongs her or, like, looks at her the wrong way, she will do something about it. And one time, Rowan did something to her, and she put a glitter bomb in his car. And to this day, he finds glitter in his car. I think her boyfriend cheated on her with one of her friends, and him did something else to the girl, like with sequins and glitter and all that. And I'm like, I kind of love that, but I think it's because she's been around that her whole life. Like, literally, I think her parents are also in that business, and her friends. Lark has a dog who follows her around, has attachment or abandonment issues, and he's big and fluffy, I believe. And in terms and conditions, Iris also got a dog, or like Declan found her a dog because she said she wanted a big fluffy dog that would follow her around and had abandonment issues. And this is just so similar. Different. It's like them in another life, essentially. Oh my god, this is crazy. My candle, I have a candle with a wooden wick, and it sounds like it's like gurgling. It sounds like my intestines when it's like digesting something, or it sounds like a fart. So if you hear that, it's not me farting. I'll show you proof. Yeah, it's just like crackling. Sometimes it's like so soothing and peaceful, but sometimes it just sounds like someone on the toilet, like fighting for their lives. I don't know. Anyways, it's like 2 hours later. I got this far into the book, page 235, and not a lot is going on plot-wise and romance-wise. Like, there's a lot of nothing going on. I don't get it. I forgot to tell you the specifics of why they got married. One was, I just told you that it was to like protect the people they love, but it's also to like get Lachlan out of the situation he's in with his boss and technically just retire from his job. Like, he's a contract killer and he doesn't like that. And on the other hand, Lark is like crazy glitter lady who kills a lot of people left and right and turns them into a glittery mess or a table. I don't know, whichever she prefers that day. Yeah, there's not a lot of things going on compared to like the first book, Butcher and Blackbird. They were killing people left and right. They turned it into a game, and I feel like that's because they were both serial killers and they both enjoy doing that, so they turned it into a little game, and their banter there was unmatched. It was so funny what they were going through. Found myself laughing out loud multiple times. Here I have not laughed out loud, really. Like, there was maybe 1 or 2 scenes that were funny, but I didn't like chuckle, if you know what I mean. And on the romance side, I don't feel it. I don't feel anything. They haven't done anything, and I just don't feel the spark or the chemistry between them. The banter's not really great. It just feels like they're not trying. Well, on Lark's part, I feel like there's nothing coming from her. She's not trying. I guess she's going through stuff, but on Lachlan's part, I feel like it's just one-sided. Like, you can obviously tell that Lachlan is invested in her and wanted to take care of her and protect her, and he's a very sweet and kind guy. He's very observant. He's an acts of service type of guy. He ends up figuring out that she has insomnia, she does not sleep, and he does all these little things to help her, like give her tea, get her like a weighted blanket or weighted eye mask, and now has sent her to a sleep retreat, which is just so kind. He's so thoughtful, and we just get nothing from Lark. She says that she's attracted to him, but nothing else. They haven't even kissed. Like, the romance and the plot is very dry right now. I do love the grandma though. No, she's not the grandma. She is Lark's old aunt, and she has like terminal cancer, I believe, but she's such an icon. I love her. I'm sad I'm not liking it as much as the first one. Hello. Do I look familiar? I know, you saw me in the intro. I'm filming the intro and the outro at the same time. I procrastinate and forget a lot of things, so yeah, I'm here now. I finished Leather and Lark yesterday, and literally nothing happened. Nothing happened. The plot twist or the conflict came at the very last few chapters, and I feel the same as I did before, like the last clip. Nothing happened really. I didn't feel connected to the characters. I didn't feel the chemistry between them. It just felt platonic. That's what it felt like. There was no romantic spark between them. It's just platonic. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but speaking of the last few chapters, the last chapter, this was my reaction. I'll put it like a screenshot because I did have some clips of me listening to it while I was walking on the treadmill, and I almost tripped. Okay, the last chapter, I was like, what? It came out of nowhere. I was shocked. If you read this book, please tell me I'm not insane and that actually happened. What? Oh god, it's this chapter. Oh my god. No. I'm never opening that book again. Oh, that was so random. I think I'm gonna rate this book a 2 stars. I did not enjoy it as much as the first book. The first book had more action, had more killings, you know? It was just there's a lot of things happening and it was so funny. This one, not really. It's just the last chapter that really caught my attention. I was like, wait, what? If you made it this far, comment the music note emoji because Lark likes playing the guitar and singing. This was really fun. It was really fun, even though it's such a random challenge or something I came up with overnight. It was really fun. And comment down below any challenges you want me to try, because I'm actually looking for other unique challenges that we don't see as much. So if you have an idea and you want to see it from me, comment it down below. I'd be happy to try anything. If you liked this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already, and make sure to use my link for Everad if you want to try it out. It's on the screen. I'll also have it linked down below so you can click it, and I hope you guys have the greatest day ever. Hope everything is good, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.